Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dom001 Resident Evil channel. Today, in this video, I'm not going to be going over Resident Evil content or news, but rather a top 5 games that you guys should be playing up until the release date of Resident Evil Village. So, we are 67 days away from Village being released, and that is a whole lot of time for you guys to be experiencing some new games, and these top 5 should be great for that. These are games that I've been playing recently, and I have been enjoying a lot. These games aren't games that necessarily just released, but games that, like I said, have been enjoying and want to recommend to you. You could simply just go back and replay all the Resident Evil games like I did, but if you're looking for something new, I highly recommend checking these games out. So number 1, the first game that I recommend is Immortals Fenyx Rising. So a brief summary is you play as Fenyx, a new winged demigod, on a quest to save Greek gods and their home from a dark curse, take on mythological beast, master of the legendary powers of the gods, and defeat Typhon, the deadliest titan in Greek mythology, in an epic fight for the ages. So far I have not beaten this game. I have about 45 hours into it, and I've been loving every single moment of it. It does have a lot of similarities to Breath of the Wild, and that might be a turnoff because people probably think it's gonna just be a copycat of some sort, but it does have some good differences. One example is like your weapons don't break, and a lot of people complained about that with Breath of the Wild. And also, if you do like Greek mythology, puzzles, finding different weapons and gear that you can upgrade a lot, and there's different currencies to do that, this game is definitely for you. Those are all things that I love, and this game does a great job at doing all of those. Simply, I just can't get enough of this game, and it has 3 DLCs that are going to be coming. I do believe one is already out, but I haven't checked it out yet. This game is on sale for $30 right now, and for that price, it is 100% worth it. I highly recommend Immortals Fenyx Rising. The next game, number 2, Cyberpunk. A brief summary of Cyberpunk, which I'm sure most of you know. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open-world action-adventure story set in Night City. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is a key to immortality. You can customize your character's cyberware, skill set, and playstyle, and explore a vast city where the choices you make shape the story and the world around you. So this could be very controversial that I put it on here, but I only recommend this game if you have a good PC or an Xbox Series X. I don't say PS5 just because they did pull it off the store, but if you can play it on there, go for it. But my experience with this game was pretty damn good. So I put around 50 hours into this game. I do have an Xbox Series X, so I had a great experience. I did experience one crash. Yes, I did have a lot of bugs, but I think that the story, the characters, large open world, and the gameplay, which I loved, which some people didn't, but I believe all of those things made up for it. The characters in this game were simply some of the best characters that I have ever played with in a video game. CD Projekt Red really gets you attached. So yeah, there is a lot of room for improvements. I'm anxious to see what this game looks like a year from now with all the bug fixes and the next gen update. I'll definitely be playing it again at that time. But in my opinion, it was a great game. But like I said, only if you have an Xbox Series X or a very good PC, and that is Cyberpunk. The next game that I recommend, number 3, The Evil Within 2. So a brief summary, Sebastian Castellanos has lost everything, including his daughter, Lily. To save her, he's forced to partner with Mobius, the shadowy group responsible for the destruction of his former life, for his last chance at redemption. The only way is out. To be honest, I did recently just started playing this game. I do have about 10 hours into it, and let me tell you, it is so damn good. If you like Resident Evil games, you'll definitely have to check this game out, and I highly recommend it. I feel like you should just jump on this game right away. So this game is very creepy, has a lot of survival horror elements, and a semi-open world gameplay experience where you can explore and take down the creatures as they try to hunt you down. And these creatures, they're very difficult to get around unless you just simply sneak attack them. But usually they come in packs, and it's a difficult game, to be honest. And if you like that stuff, check it out. And the open world gameplay, so far through my 10 hours, I've just been exploring and finding new guns and kind of roaming around, and I just think that's awesome. This game definitely expanded on the gameplay of the first one and made it a lot better. I mean, I did love the first Evil Within, but to me, I'm not a huge fan of linear games. Like, I like them, but I just prefer like the variety and you kind of do as you please games better. So to be honest, I am so glad I picked this game up. Evil Within 2, highly recommend. So number 4, Control. Brief summary. After a secretive agency in New York is invaded by an otherworldly threat, you become the new director struggling to regain control. This supernatural third-person action-adventure game will challenge you to master a combination of supernatural abilities, modifiable loadouts, and reactive environments while fighting through a deep and unpredictable world. This game came out in 2019. I remember a lot of hype around it. It was a lot of people's game of the year. To be honest, I just never picked it up. I recently did with my Xbox Series X when it released, and it blew my mind. And I am so glad that I picked this game up. The combat, for one, is so satisfying. The abilities are all really fun to use, and there's a lot of them. And there's a lot of backtracking and exploring game. It is a Metroidvania type of game, and I love those kinds of games. So all these elements really do just make this game great. The main character, Jesse, is really cool too. And the story, in my opinion, is a little confusing at times, but the gameplay does make up for it, in my opinion. Remedy just released the next-gen version, and it is pretty cheap. So this game, Control, I highly recommend to anyone who hasn't played it. Go check it out. So the next game. People might think I'm crazy for putting this EA game in my list. Madden 21. Okay, I'm just kidding. But one game that EA published that I really am going to put on this list is A Way Out. Still, people might think I'm crazy for putting this game on here, but recently I did just play it and I loved it. So A Way Out, a brief summary. From the creators of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons comes A Way Out, an exclusively co-op adventure that follows two prisoners, Leo and Vincent, making their daring escape from prison. Like I said, I just recently played this game. I loved it. The gameplay and the story were kind of lacking, to be honest, but if you have a good friend that you want to play a co-op game, play this game. Like, I promise you guys will have a good time. You have to have a other person to play this game. It's all cooperative. That's why I highly recommend a friend. Yes, it'll be more so fun to mess around on the game, but there are some good gameplay features that you have to cooperate and you have to be on the same page with them. So if you guys mess up, yeah, it'll be kind of funny. That's me and my brother did it, and we just had a good laugh. And yes, some parts were a little off about the game, a little over the top, but it was still fun, especially the last hour or so. It was the best part of the game, and I highly recommend playing it. This is a short game. It's about 5 hours long, so just simply sit down and play with a friend. You'll enjoy it. I highly recommend it. Well, that does conclude my top 5 games that I recommend that you guys play. I hope you guys check them out, and if you do, let me know what you think of them. I will be glad to discuss them if you'd like, but if you guys have already played them, still, just let me know what you think of them down below in the comments. I'll reach back to you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, if you're looking for more Resident Evil Village content leading up to the May 7th release date. Thank you guys, and have a great day.